So, welcome to the 26th edition. This year, I just don't want to set goals, I actually want to live them. So, in this video, I am sharing the habits, intentions, and little lifestyle changes that I'm putting in place in 2026 so that I have my best year yet. Also, I have to mention I am not including any of the regular goals and habits like working out or business goals or whatever. I am sharing few specific goals and intentions that I feel would make my year best year yet and also would help me achieve the existing goals a little better, if that made any sense. Hi, this is Pragna Joginapalli. If you like anything you've heard just now, then maybe you should consider subscribing to the channel and be part of this community. I am not someone who waits for the new year. I really think it's all about the pillar goals that you have, and it's about building a life around those pillars. I mean, think about your goals and answer them in terms of your habits and systems. Keep experimenting till you find what feels natural to you. And when you do, just stick to it. Now, get a cup of coffee, matcha, whatever, and I hope it's not a lengthy video. And without any further ado, let's get into it. One of my biggest goals this year is to learn how to calm my nervous system, especially in the mornings and evenings. Because I've realized something. Most of the time I fall off the track. It's not because I'm lazy or unmotivated. It's usually because my mind and body are in stress mode. So this year I want to start my mornings a little slower, not in the soft life aesthetic kind of a way, but something that genuinely keeps me grounded and makes sure that I'm not jumping into things. Things like maybe spending time with my cat, maybe journaling, making your bed, whatever it is. Because I really feel when my nervous system is really calm, I am more likely to stick to my habits and routines and more likely to be consistent, if you know what I mean. And for the evenings, I don't want to end every day by being overstimulated, exhausted, and stuff like that. I really want to make sure that my body, mind, and soul are connected. And every day, I implement these soft, tiny, simple rituals that's going to make sure that everything is aligned. If I ever get into a rut or a burnout phase, I have these mini rituals that is going to give me that comfort. Whether it's reading, doing my skincare, doing a 10-minute reset, sit with your thoughts, brain dump, you could do a lot of things that are tiny, that are grounding to make sure that you're calming your nervous system and calming your mind and not rushing into things. Another big intention for the year, it is to really master my routines. I did hit a mark when it comes to keeping up with my routines and stuff, but I want to make sure that I'm leveling up this year and making sure that I'm actually being consistent with my routines. I don't want my days to feel random anymore. I want it to have structure. And when I'm talking about structure, I am not talking about stuffing 20 habits into the day. Things like moving my body, spending time offline, working on my goals, etc. So that on the busiest of days also, I can manage to do the things that I promised myself I would do. And around these habits, I want to create systems. And when I say systems, I really only mean routines because it's simple, you don't have to overcomplicate things. And when you set up systems that are simple, being consistent becomes way easier. I made this mistake in the past and I don't plan on repeating it in 2026. So instead of forcing myself into being disciplined, I want to make it easier to do the right things just by designing my days a little better. Okay, so the next one is more of a rule than a habit or an intention, but hear me out. So I've realized that I tend to choose junk food way too often than I would like to, especially when it's just few clicks away. You know what I'm talking about. So in 2026, I am making one simple tiny change. I'm not ordering food in. If I really want to, then I just have to actually get out of my house and eat it. It sounds so simple, but it creates this enough friction to pause and ask myself, do I really want to have it? Or is it just a craving? It's been a week that I'm doing this. I realized that every time I do have a craving like that, I am taking that pause to question myself if I really want to have it or not. The usual answer is, I'm just hungry. So I have my matcha. I have something that's going to kill that moment. And when it does, it's way easier for me to stick to home cooked meals. I put this rule in place to make sure that I'm not cutting anything out. I am not restricting myself, just to make sure that I'm staying under control. That's it. So, this way, I feel I'm going to make sure that 80% of my food is home cooked, balanced, and nutrition based, and 20% it's more likely going to be junk. Anyway, so next is one of my big intentions that I have for the year. It is going to be limiting my screen time. I cannot tell you how easy it is for me to actually fall into binge watching and endless scrolling. So I am putting some healthy boundaries in place for myself. I am going to time my screen time. Yeah. I get 4 hours in a day to watch anything that I want. It includes the time when I play things on the background while I'm doing something. And when it comes to social media, I can only use 5 minutes at a time. Anyway, so along with that, I want to learn to sit in silence and do absolutely nothing. So just once a week, I'm going to set a timer. It could range anywhere between 2 to 5 minutes and do absolutely nothing. Sounds horrible for someone who doesn't waste a minute. I mean, okay, I'm going to tell you how bad it is, okay? So, could be in the shower, I could make my coffee, I could just be up and doing something for 2 minutes. I want something in the background. Sometimes I put a show on and sleep. It acts like white noise to me, and that's scary. This year, I want to put an end to it. I feel like this simple thing, when I'm pausing and doing nothing and be content with whatever I'm doing, basically. So let's see how that goes. And with all the space that I'm creating, I want to get back to my hobbies. I don't really have a list of hobbies I want to get into as of yet, but I know that I want to get into reading. I really want to fill it with experiences and memories. So yeah, the next one is kind of in line with what I just said. I want to record more of my moments. This is a beautiful intention for me because I've realized that so many beautiful things pass by. The small random laughter, small wins that usually it means so much to you, but it gets swept under the rug. You tend to forget those exist. And sometimes it could be moments when I chose myself, when I did the workout that I did not want to do, moments like that. So, yeah, I just don't want to forget how this season of my life felt. This year, I really want to try one new activity every month, something that I've never done before or maybe haven't explored properly. It could be a new hobby, it could be a creative outlet, it could be a new workout, a new exercise, it could be a lot of new things. The idea is to not master, the point is to try and get out of the comfort zone and try something new. Each month, I feel, would become this new mini adventure because I don't want to make it into a chore. I really want to keep it minimal and make sure that I'm exploring something new. That's it. Anyway, that's a wrap on this video. I really hope me sharing these habits, challenges, and little experiments gives you some sort of inspiration to create a version of year that excites you. Remember, as I've always said, it's all about small intentional steps, testing what works for you, and building a life that you actually want. If you're curious, I have few other videos that I've created in the past. I'll link few of my videos in the description, and if you want, you could check them out. Thank you so much for sticking to the end, and bye.